I think Binance is the perfect case. The craziest thing that I saw at Binance, and I didn't get a chance to get this to people, but I saw Changpeng Zhao, right? This morning he replied to somebody because they said something like they showed him data from token analysts, right? And it showed there's a little bit of an outflow of Bitcoins. And they said, what's going on, Binance? It looks like, at least some people are getting withdrawals. So then that's when CZ, he replied to him and he was like, I don't know what that thing is showing, but we're not sending anything out to anybody. If you've seen something, show me a transaction ID or something like that, right? So I'm like, hell no, I know for a fact they've been sending things out. So, I go through the cluster, I start looking through some transactions, and I see one wallet, like an outgoing transaction from the exchange. So I show it to him, He kind of he gives me a weak ass reply. He doesn't respond anymore. I already know what that's about. But I go back and I really examine it because I'm like, yo, what the fuck's going on? So I see there's this wallet, right? It sends 140 Bitcoins straight to the hot wallet at Binance. So this was like a deposit address. But if we remember, deposits and withdrawals have been shut down. So this has to be Binance, unless they have some special exemption for only certain people. So I see it has 140 Bitcoins in total. 100 Bitcoins goes to the Binance hot wallet, and then 40 Bitcoins some randomly created wallet, right? Now that randomly created wallet, it then sends 5 Bitcoins off somewhere that's not part of Binance's exchange, and then it sends the remaining 35 to their hot wallet. And I think this is mad weird because normally, if you're a customer and you send some funds, let's say you send 2 Bitcoins to Binance, they just sweep that shit right into their hot wallet, the whole thing. But in this situation, they separated a few of them side, which one, I thought that was weirder than two, the fact that nobody can deposit to the exchange, yet there's this wallet that I'm seeing has just been kind of consistently sending 100 Bitcoins at a time was mad weird. But every time I track it back, it always comes from another exchange. And that's strongly led me to believe that one, there can't be safe view funds. I don't care what people said. And I even put out something earlier today, somebody show me the wallet and I'll give him a couple hundred, but there's no way he has that. There's some sort of network or system in place where other exchanges are working with each other, like Coinbase, Bithumb, Bitfinex, Binance, a couple of the Korean ones too that I didn't mention, and some Japanese ones as well, are sort of sharing funds and liquidity with one another. When one collapses, it's going to take out a lot of really big parties in this.
If they if the house of cards falls apart, who would then take over? Would it be institutional platforms, I don't know, for example, Fidelity or something, what they're doing? Would they kind of then step in and be kind of the heroes and authority, as the saying is, chaos brings order, kind of thing?
That's a good question. I think it all depends on how the governments go about it, because it's going to be mad money that's going to be lost. And part of me thinks the governments, other entities are going to see the carnage that comes from it, the hundreds of millions of dollars that'll probably be lost, maybe the fraud it ran off with or seized. And I really think they're going to look at it and be like, nah, we had enough of this shit. We need to crack the whip. Listen, we let you get off on the libertarian tip for a little while. We kind of let you do your thing. It wasn't too big, but now it's gotten, and we got to step in for real, because we know if we don't, then that same vacuum gets created where these bad actors come up again. I do think though, it would be an insider that would fill that vacuum, because there's going to be certain people that I don't think are going to get touched like that. Like Barry Silbert, for instance, he's not going to get touched that way. I absolutely believe that he is a core actor. He's heavily involved, but people have been smart in this space in the way that they don't invest. So they've been kind of using venture capital firms as their way of operating and facilitating scam schemes and Ponzi's by proxy. So, specifically Digital Currency Group, Pantera Capital, Blockchain Capital, Boost VC, a few others that I genuinely believe are bad actors. People who are running the exchanges are always going to be the fall guys. So someone like CZ, he's in the crosshairs. Jesse Powell's in the crosshairs, and definitely whoever's running Bitfinex is absolutely in the crosshairs. And
is there any exchanges that can be trusted? Like, say if someone's watching this, who could they trust? Yeah,
nobody.
I don't trust them. Yeah, no,
it's just too.
Straight up.
It's too much. I really think at this point it's almost getting to a human, because this space just swallows too much shit. That's the problem. If